Hey everybody, we are back live on TikTok. We are so excited to be with you. We've missed you.
Hey, great to be here tonight.
Yeah, great to be here. We missed you guys. We were on Instagram last week, and then we were at the lake, so we didn't do live. But before that, we did Instagram, and we are coming back to TikTok. So thank you so much for joining. We're excited about this. We got a few things to tell everyone, some updates. One of the things that we wanted to let people know is the reason we've been a little MIA on social media is we hired a new media company. We had some issues with our old one. No offense to the old one, we love them, but we were having some issues. So for about a couple months here, we've kind of taken a step back and reassessing our brand and interviewing media companies that we really thought would do a good job for us in putting our message out there to as many people as who we can possibly reach that needs help in this arena. So you're going to start seeing some really dynamic videos from us and content probably starting next week. So we just kind of
actually our latest video that was just posted yesterday is from our brand new media company.
Yes,
just check it out.
And they did a great
awesome
job. Yep.
The description's amazing. So after this live, please go to our TikTok page. Follow us if you're not, and check out that latest video.
Why we go back.
Why we go back. It's really an awesome video. But we're so excited about this new media company, guys. It's going to be really exciting. So we're going to have
we took a lot of time interviewing people. So
we're going to get back to some new skits. Gaslighting, like Melissa said, that'll be posted next week.
That's our new series. I didn't tell him that. John's jumping the gun, trying to tell our secrets here. Well, we are doing a new series, and it is on gaslighting. So a lot of people are like, what is that? How could you possibly fall for gaslighting? It is extremely manipulating and toxic. And most people don't know it's happening to them until it's too late. So we are going to dive into gaslighting, what it looks like, what you can do to combat it, how do you recognize it, especially if you're still in the relationship, because that's when it becomes really dangerous, really toxic. It can really mess your head up, and it can mess your ability to make logical decisions, especially if you want out. So we'll announce that. We'll do our promo. So in 3 videos like we normally do. So if there's anything that you guys want us to do, any skits that you're really wondering about, what does this look like? What does this look like? Can you do something on this? Let us know, because we absolutely would love to do that and show you. Believe me, between John and I'm sure we went through it. So show you guys thank you.
And one other thing I wanted to ask also, we're putting together some amazing programs for recovery. Just getting back to your best life. And it's something that I have a lot of passion in, because I had a phenomenal journey as far as my recovery and where I am today from where I was after my narcissist left, and we got a divorce. So we want to put together some great programs to help you if you're stuck with moving forward. It's really hard once you hey sorry guys, once you've left, it's really hard to move forward with your life. So if you're struggling with certain aspects of it, let us know. The dog is barking at something over here. Hold on.
Our dog is barking at a bone that somehow went under the cabinet, and now he can't get to it.
Sorry.
So, and I'm sure he thinks his sister stole it, because normally she does steal it.
Hey, I'm sorry everybody. But yeah, if there's something that you're struggling with, you just can't get past. You're struggling with the regret, or not being able to forgive yourself, or you can't get back into your physical activity, or you can't find your passion again. Those things, kind of put it in the chat here. I'd love to hear, what's really holding you back at this point, because we're developing this phenomenal intensive program to really help with recovery. It's our 10-step process, but we really want to take it to you so that it helps you in your recovery. So love to hear more about what's holding you back.
Yes, and we love you too, Angel. Thank you.
Okay, Mama is Mama Prattis, I guess. I'm leaving a narcissistic man after 10 years. I can't deal with it anymore. This is okay. So make sure that before you leave,
you take our 12.
Yeah, you watch our 12 critical steps before you leave webinar, and make sure you've got all your bases covered before you leave, so you don't go back, because most people go back over and over and over again.
47% of people go back.
So
out of sheer desperation, because you leave without being prepared.
Right. So please check that out. And when you leave, what Melissa and I always say, you have to go no contact. If you don't go no contact, you will go back. So please take that webinar. You can find it in our link tree. Just underneath our picture there, you'll just click link tree. It'll take you over there, and it'll say the 12 critical steps to take before you leave. So please make sure you watch that before you leave.
And somebody asked where we got our experience from. Well, first of all, John and I are both survivors of narcissistic abuse. I was in a horrible narcissistic abusive marriage for many years, and not only got out of it, but was able to thrive. I was able to beat my narc in court, and I documented all of my steps in my journal, every single step I took. And John and I met years later, and when we started comparing things about our past, we realized we had a lot in common as far as dealing with abusive narcissistic partners. Mine was an overt narc, very grandiose, but he was also an alcoholic, porn addiction, violent. John's was more of a covert narc, introverted, very sneaky, very identity theft, things like that. But that was years ago, and we both had long careers in the financial industry. But when we left the financial industry, took an early retirement in 2021, I actually got my professional certified life coach certification, and I'm now taking my master's. So we've done a lot of courses, a lot of training in this field, because we knew we wanted to give back. We didn't want to go back into the corporate sector. We wanted to do something that wasn't available to us when we went through it. We went through it alone. Nobody understood it. There was no talk of narcissists. There was no talk about narcissistic abuse. I actually thought I was going crazy. He had no idea what she was doing behind his back. So we documented all of our steps that we took to actually come through on the other side. And believe me, we made a lot of mistakes. And the information that we have now in our programs, our online resources, our online coaching sessions, things like that are based on things that we did, so you don't have to make those same mistakes. It's like, if we made a mistake, we learned very quickly it was a mistake and how to rectify it. Well, our programs actually show you how to avoid those mistakes. So hopefully that helps people not feel so isolated, not feel so alone, because that's exactly what they want you to feel: isolated, alone, devastated, shattered, overwhelmed. I mean, the trauma bonding is awful. It just fogs your brain with so many toxic things, and then you're scared. You fear retaliation, or what are you going to do on your own? I'm now out. Now what? So all of these different phases, we call them buckets. Whether you're in it and you want to leave, whether you're getting out of it and you're in the middle of a horrible divorce and your narc's lying to you, you don't know what your rights are with child support, alimony, asset split, etc. We help with that. Or if you're out and you're just stuck, you're like literally, okay, I'm out, I'm done, I'm on my own, I'm away from that person, but now what? So those are what we call our 3 life transformation buckets. Depending on where you are in your journey, we have something for you. So hopefully that was a long-winded answer, but at least it lets you know where we got our experience from, and that we are qualified to coach people through this. So.
I want to get back to Carmen. She said, do judges see narcissism? A lot of times they don't, and that's why it's critical, if you're going through a divorce, that your attorney understands narcissism. That's the most important thing, because they are going to pull every trick in the book to make to delay the proceedings so that you will settle for less than you deserve. Melissa,
or you'll look like the fool, because they will tell so many lies about you, and then you'll be struggling to try to defend yourself in that situation. We go over a lot of that in the coaching sessions that I have with my clients. So many of them are in that same situation. And I guess one of the best advice we can give people, it may be controversial, but we say don't tell them. Don't tell them when you're going to divorce them or you're going to file for divorce, because it basically gives them your playbook. It's almost like handing the other team the playbook during the Super Bowl. They know exactly what you're planning. A normal person in a normal relationship, when things aren't working out and you're fighting, you're just going your separate ways. You could probably sit down and go, look, this isn't working. You know what? Let's get a divorce. It might cause upset, it might cause uproar, but when you tell that to a narcissist, it starts a war, an all-out war. And a lot of times it's behind your back. The smear campaigns, or they'll act so hurt and they'll beg you not to do it, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're out of the house, moving assets around, filing for divorce before you can even get there. It is really, it's really a shame what they do. So when you're thinking about telling your partner, narcissistic partner, you want a divorce, think twice about it, because you've tried everything, I'm sure. Counseling, beg for counseling, tried all kind of things to make the marriage work, trying to figure out what's wrong, let me fix it, how can I fix it, what can I do, walking on eggshells, anxiety-ridden, stress-ridden, all these things that we've all gone through for years. And you finally get to a point where you're like, I am done. I need to get out. The worst thing you can do is tell them. Because, like I said, it basically, just about every single client, I've had a lot of clients that I have worked with about this, when they try to do the right thing and just basically have a conversation and say it, it totally backfires, and it's really sad. It really is. You cannot trust a narcissist. You cannot expect them to react like a normal person and try to do what's best for the kids or what's best for both of you, rather than losing assets to attorneys. They want to punish you. They want to literally punish you for daring to want to leave them. So you've got to be really, really smart about what you do. And that's why the 12 critical steps to take before you leave is something that we highly recommend. You can find it on our website or in our link tree and we did a live webinar on it. You can find the webinar replay and the download. And I think there's actually a download in our link tree about the 12 critical steps. But anyway, you definitely want to take a look at that and make sure you're protected while you're, getting up to the point where you want to have them served or you actually want to leave.
Okay, we need to get with Jessica here. Jessica is trying to, let me get back to her initial advice for co-parenting with a narc who is a family law attorney, and he is using the courts, who's using court to abuse me and drive legal fees through pro se. So I guess she's representing herself.
So you must be representing yourself. And I'm assuming he filed first, or did you file as the plaintiff? I would imagine he probably filed since he's an attorney. So he's probably trying to twist things around, which is so... But co-parenting, we did a segment on co-parenting, and it's very difficult because they try to...
Oh, he represents himself. She does.
Okay. They try to abuse you, not only when you're with them, but when you're separated, when you're trying to co-parent with them. The emotional uproar they want to cause you is something that they just get a thrill at. If you're the one that wanted to leave, finally, and you're finally grasping onto your freedom, co-parenting with them is almost impossible if you do it face-to-face. If you do it face-to-face, if you do it via email, if you do it via text message, because the emotions are raw and they can still push your buttons, they can still hit below the belt, they'll pour salt into the wounds that they know that absolutely destroys you. Use a parent app. We recommend to our clients Talking Parents, all one word, Talking Parents. You can download it from the Apple Store. And this is a way, courts recognize this. It's a third-party app that lets you communicate with your ex about the children, anything that you would say to them face-to-face, custody exchanges, who gets who when, school, medical bills, medical visits, any, sporting events, anything and everything that you would have a conversation with a parent of a child, you can do through this app. What it does is it keeps it third party. So everything is saved, everything is recorded, it can be used in a court of law, but you are not dealing with them face to face. So no court says you have to take their nasty phone calls and you have to take their nasty text message and you have to let them show up at your house to get the kids. You can decide on a neutral location, somewhere public, where you can make that exchange where the emotional outburst is not probably going to happen. This is for the safety of the kids too, because we all know yelling and screaming in front of children, they're little sponges, so it does affect them. But if you can meet in a public location, exchange the kids, maybe bring somebody with you if you have to, it is so much better than allowing them to come to your house or you going to their house. That's when they have an opportunity to continue to abuse you, to continue to try to control you, to try to ruin your night, especially if you have plans. I have so many clients that are like, okay, exchange, and then they have plans, and then they're being texted, called, all of these urgent messages coming through because the narc knows they're trying to do something that they want, and they're going to try to ruin that evening. No matter if you're with a guy, you're with a girl, or whatever, with your family members, they're going to try to ruin it for you. But through the parent app, you get all the messages, you communicate all your messages. If they say, I'm not gonna do it, you can say, I am gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna communicate with you. I'm blocking you. I'm not taking your phone calls. I'm not allowing you to talk to the children. I'm not communicating with you per the court. I'm doing everything per the court through this parenting app because it keeps those emotions from becoming explosive. And you want to avoid that for not only yourself, but for your kids too.
Guys, I'm trying so hard to keep up with all your questions. There's so many great questions here.
Well, Roadman, if you don't want to listen to us, you can certainly jump off our channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't have to stick around.
Yeah, pal. Please don't stick around. We've got many followers.
Many people who need to listen.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and block this guy anyway.
Yeah. Well, when somebody,
Yeah.
I want somebody has something better to say.
I want to get back to Marty. Is it Marty Livingston?
It's Talking Parents, all one word. Talking Parents.
Oh, she says, I'm the attorney. He's the narc, and I filed first. The financial abuse is insane. So there are things that you can do to protect yourself, especially if you're in litigation. Babe, you want to
it depends on what state you're in.
First of all,
she's an attorney, she probably knows.
Yeah, you probably know that, but she said the financial abuse is amazing. We have an amazing, Melissa's a 40-year veteran in the financial industry, and we have put together a financial abuse and recovery program. It's on our website, thevtw.com, and it's a whole hour of videos. It's 6 videos that walk you through all about financial abuse and how to protect yourself and how to recover, most importantly. And it has a 47-page workbook that comes with it. So please check that out. Marty, anybody else that's dealing with financial abuse, this is a lifesaver and a life changer if you're dealing with it. Or if you're about to leave your narcissist, make sure you protect yourself against this financial abuse, and our 12 critical steps you take before will help you with that. Freezing your credit, opening up separate accounts, emergency funds, all those important things to set up before. So let me get back to these.
Well, and the financial abuse, like you're saying, I've got many clients where they're talking about hidden assets, transferring money into other accounts. It's almost like once they know that things are going downhill, all of a sudden things start disappearing. You get taken off of, joint accounts. How even they do that, I don't even know. But there's so many things that they will do to you just to try to make you either punish you or try to remove your access to money so you can't fight them, or you're desperate, or you are now in a financial bind. They can create such hardship for people. I know I have one client who's married to a surgeon, and he controlled all the, she was married 29 years, he controlled all the money, and the minute she said, I want a divorce, I can't live this way anymore, all of a sudden he started sweeping money into an account in his name only, and only putting enough money in the joint marital funds, because they were in a 50-50 state, to pay the bills. But she had no money left over. She was like scraping the barrel just to get by. But we were able to track down a lot of different funds that he has, especially if, during discovery, they have to give up a lot of their information, but that still doesn't mean they're not going to hide things from you. But if you have any way of obtaining, and this is one thing that I will say, if there's any promotions coming to your house from banks, like free checking account with Chase, or low interest credit on this, a bank can no longer advertise to you if you don't have an account with them. That's something that changed quite a few years back when we had this whole economic downfall. So a bank, you have to have something with them, a credit card, a checking account, bank account, something for them to solicit you for further business. So if you have promotional items come into your house, then someone has an account at that bank. So you can always solicit that bank to relinquish information based on a social security number or a name. You may not realize that bank is somewhere but if you've got stuff coming in from Chase Bank and you've never banked there before, then give it to your attorney, because it is very, very, very probable, almost guaranteed, that someone has an account there, and that's why they're soliciting that address. So that's some way that some of my clients have been able to find out about hidden assets. So you may want to try that as well, because the financial abuse is paralyzing. It really is, especially if they've been the ones controlling it. I had a great job. Fortunately, I controlled a lot of my finances, but I did let him into some of the joint accounts, and it was disastrous. It literally was, because when we were going through the divorce, I couldn't close anything that was joint, and he would go into that account and he would drain everything out the morning the funds would hit to pay all the bills, and everything would bounce. We filed contempt charges against him. It was awful. So there's other things you can do now to avoid that mess, but I had no idea at the time, years and years ago, what my options were. So definitely take a look at our 12 critical steps. And if you need any more information about that, just DM us, and we'll be happy to help you any way we can.
I've got a lot of questions here that there is just absolutely no way that we're going to be able to get to some of these questions, and because they take a lot of time. You really need to do more of a deep dive with Melissa on exactly how to do this, especially if you're planning on leaving, or if you're getting in a divorce situation and are being financially abused. I would say I recommend having a call with Melissa. Now, speaking of calls, starting June 15th, we're having to increase the price of our 1-hour calls, just because of the amount of time Melissa spends researching your state laws and your intake form before the call even starts, and then the work that's done after the call. So we're increasing those on June 15th, but we want to make you aware so that you can book as many calls as you want to before the 15th at our rate now, which is well below what a typical coach with her experience and her certification charges, because we want to try to help as many people as we can. So if you are in a situation where you just don't know what to do, you need someone there beside you, please reach out, book a call with Melissa. You can just go to our link tree. So that's the link below our picture. Just click on that and it'll say book a one-on-one call. Click right there, you go to her calendar and you can set that up. So please do that, especially if it's just something that we can't get to tonight. It's not just a yes or no.
And that stuff, we're in the state of Georgia. Georgia is an equitable division state. There are numerous states that are community property. And when it's 50-50, the sad part about a narcissist is they think, well, I bought this, you're a stay-at-home mom, it's my money, I purchased it, it's mine. That's not true. If you're married and unless you have a prenup or you inherited the money and kept it in a trust or something, it is a marital asset, and it's subject to either a 50-50 split if you're in a community property state, or equitable division. Is based on a judge's decision. mine got nothing. By the end of my trial, which was 2 days long, 3 years. He drugged me through it. I mean, the judge told him, he goes, you walked into this marriage with nothing and you're leaving with nothing. And he actually owed me $135,000 judgment, which of course I've never collected. However, he wasn't awarded any of my money, which is he was wanting alimony, he was wanting 401k, but the abuse was so horrific, and I documented everything. The judge just wasn't having any part of it. When you're in a 50-50 state, it makes it a little challenging because most of the time it's considered no fault. If there are states that are 50-50 that have at fault divorce laws, then you actually have to prove certain things about the other person. And it does take time, it does take planning. So those are things, I'm a research junkie. I know people think I'm nuts, but I love researching this. I research laws all over the whole country, even out of the country. But like I said, John said, I do a lot of research before we get on the call. During our call, we talk about a lot of details, what's important to you, what you want out of it, where you want to go, and then I do tons of research after the call. I don't want you to feel like I felt, where nobody understood, there was nobody there. I had no one. I felt so incredibly isolated. I mean, I thought I was going to be fired from my job. It was awful. The stress and the worry and the panic and just, what is he going to do? Retaliation, all this other stuff. I was so worried about that I could hardly think straight. If it wasn't for my journal, I don't think I would have gotten through the trial, because it was 3 years, and I had to go back in memory and remember all the things that he had done. Journaling is your best friend. Writing things down as they come up, hide it, please, dear Lord, hide that. Don't let them get it. I mean, I actually put I took the cover off of a hardback book and I put my journal inside of it, and it was like, I learned how to knit for dummies or something like that, something that I knew he would never look at, and I put it on the shelf because I made the mistake of leaving it out. He found it early on and he used it against me, tried to make it sound like I was crazy, I was depressed, I was hallucinating. I mean, all these things he tried to do to flip that around on me. But that journal actually saved my life. So if you don't journal, then I strongly urge you to journal. It not only helps cleanse your soul and your mind, but it helps you remember things. So when they try to tell you it didn't happen, or they try to give a different version, you know your truth. Don't believe anyone's truth except your own. You know what happened. Writing it down helps preserve your memory, because when you're going through this type of abuse, it is really difficult. It takes a lot out of you, the stress, all of it, and it's very difficult to remember things. So writing things down is a way for you to preserve that, and it will do you good, not only, like I said, for purging toxic thoughts, but also in legal battles and other things that you may have to fight with your narcissist.
Hey, I want to mention one other thing too, for a lot of you that we're just we're getting so many questions here. We have several hundred already. We have an amazing private Facebook group we've got 1,300 members now, and it's totally anonymous. You can't find it on Facebook. Penny's here, by the way. One of our favorite clients that we've been with for months and months and months, and her life has been transformed because of her calls with Melissa. So if you're looking for life transformation, there's none better than Melissa. I assure you of that. But please join our private Facebook group. You can go there 24/7, and there's typically someone there that knows what you're going through and is like, you know what, this is what I did, or this is how I handled this. So at the end of this live, please go to our link tree. You can see all our resources, or you can go to our website, thev2w.com, and see all our resources there. There's something there to help you. I'm promise you that. We've built all sorts of different resources. But join our private Facebook group. It's amazing. So just click on join the group. You'll go to Facebook. You can't just find it unless you take the link there. You'll have to answer a couple of questions, because we vet everybody that goes in there. We're very, very secure about this group. We want to make sure it's only people that are in this situation that we let in. And so make sure you join that private Facebook group. It's phenomenally helpful. So please check that out.
Well, and like John said, we have people in that Facebook group across the globe. It's unbelievable, but we are very protective of people that are.
Someone's asking me to slow down. I'm sorry. We got how many hundred people here? We're trying to get to everybody, but you can't slow down. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
please ask the question again if I can.
The link to the Facebook, if you go to our main page on TikTok, right under our photos is our bio. If you click on that, you'll go to our link tree and it lists all of our resources. But if you scroll down, you'll see join Facebook group. And if you click on that, it will take you to the private Facebook. You cannot find it. You absolutely, and we want it that way. We want it private and anonymous. You can join as an anonymous member, or you can put your name, your first initial, however you want to join. We respect that. But go to our page, TikTok, right below our photo, click that. Go to our link tree and then click on join private Facebook group, and it will take you over there, and you just answer a few questions, accept our membership policies, which is, you will respect everyone's privacy, just things like that. We do want to protect our community, and then thank you. And then we'll let you in. But like John said, we have over 1,300 people there now, and they have become such good friends with each other. I mean, people are so supportive there because everybody in there is in one of those buckets that we kind of talked about earlier. They're either in it and they're miserable and can't figure out what's going on. They want to leave, or they're in the middle of a horrible legal battle, or they've left and they don't know how to move forward. So we've got people from all different parts of the world in all different phases of narcissistic abuse. So someone there is going to be able to answer your question, answer your comment, refer you to somebody else in the group. I'm always in there. John's in there. We have our daughter-in-law, Andy, who's in there a lot all the time too. Just making sure people understand where our resources are. And we have resources no matter what your budget is. I mean, we have resources that are either free or very, very, very inexpensive, because we know when a narcissist is controlling the money, it makes things very difficult for you. So definitely join our Facebook group. You will feel like you're part of something rather than isolated, alone, and out there treading water in the ocean by yourself.
Hey, we just had someone show up from Rome, Italy.
I can't believe it. Narchammer, get out.
Narchammer's here. Valiant's coming in. We got Penny here. Yeah. We've got such an amazing community, guys. So much great support, and we're so grateful for each and every one of you. But I want to just mention this. We have people from all over the world that come to these lives. Australia, Italy, England, Canada, South America. I mean, there's just from Asian countries. I mean, it's all over the place.
There's Valley Ann.
So what I want you to take from that is that it is global. And there's millions and millions of people that are dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with right now. So you have to give yourself a break. And don't blame yourself for this. And you're not alone either. I want you to make sure you know that too. So I'm so glad you're here. But again, there's people all over the planet that are dealing with exactly what you're going through right now. So please try to take comfort and some strength from knowing that.
Hey, someone asked a question about how do you build your credit when they're still messing with you. Now, everyone's credit is individual. You have your own individual credit report. So if you're still in the relationship, it doesn't mean that you have to subject yourself to them opening up debts in your name or trying to put joint debts. If you freeze your credit, which we explain in our financial series, and if you DM me, I'll tell you exactly how to do it, then no creditor can actually check your credit, so they can't extend credit in your name. Now, if your narcissist is applying for all these debts or credit and whatever, that's his business or her business, because they have to give their social security number. But if your credit's frozen, they can't get into your credit. So my credit has been frozen for 13 years, seriously, because he has tried to get back into my credit and do identity theft. for years. We've been divorced. I have a lifetime restraining order against it, but I know it's him because nobody else knows this information about me. And I'll get notices in the mail that I've been rejected for a credit card that I never applied for, and it's because my credit's frozen, so they can't get into my credit. So he can't open any credit cards in my name, which is what he was doing when we were married and even when we were separated and going through a divorce. So the only way you can start rebuilding is to stop the bleeding. And so freezing your credit at least stops anything else being open in your name, and then we can work through it after that. But if you leave it open, then they can open things in your name, they can sign your name to things. If a creditor can get into your credit profile by using your social security number, if it looks like a good thing, or even if your credit's mediocre, they can improve credit, and then you don't even know about it until it's too late. Like John, I mean, his ex opened a bunch of credit cards in his name. He didn't know it. She was making the minimum payments until after she moved out of the marital dwelling. And then he started getting all these past due notices because she stopped making the payments. That's when he knew all of these credit cards had been opened in his name. You don't want that happening to you, and you can't recover if you don't protect your credit now.
Yeah, and please, again, I mentioned this earlier, Melissa's a 40-year veteran of the financial services industry and has coached thousands and thousands of women, literally, in financial empowerment. And so we built the Financial Abuse and Recovery series. It's on our website, and it's 6 videos, over an hour of content, a 47-page workbook to help you understand exactly how to freeze your credit, how to rebuild your credit, how to set up a budget, how to rebuild everything. So after this, and to protect yourself before too. So please check that out. There's a trailer on our website. It's about a 3-minute trailer. Melissa explains everything that's included. And the production is amazing on this. So please check that out. Someone asked here, how do you freeze your credit? We go through that exact thing, how to do that in our financial abuse series. So please check that out.
And hey, Valiant and Narchammer, absolutely. You just put that. We'll be more than happy to go through that with you guys. But yes, freezing credit is huge, and it's not that difficult. There's 3 repositories. We kind of go through exactly how to do it. And then, like I said, you can't even get credit in your own name unless you unfreeze your credit. So, but it's a lifesaver, because if I had not done that, I can't even imagine, because when your guard's down, I mean, it's been years. And so when I get these things in the mail, I sit there and go, are you kidding me? You are still trying to do this? Yes, they will. If they can't get credit on their own, they will absolutely. And 10 years later, your credit could be perfect. You could be rolling, man, and you've got your credit taken care of. If you let your guard down and they have your social security number and your name, your address, whatever, birth date, they can absolutely open up something online, buy it at Amazon, and then you get the bill. Now, naturally, you could say it's fraud, but you have to file a police report. You got to send that to the creditor. It's such a nightmare. Why bother with that? Freeze your credit. If you want something, unfreeze it, let them check your credit, freeze it back. It's a very easy step once you know what to do.
I've got a question from Baxter's mommy, and Jack, I'm sorry we haven't gotten to you yet. Jack wants to know more about what is trauma bonding and that.
We'll get to that, Jack.
We'll get that in just a minute, Jack. Okay, Baxter's mommy says, so you suggest not saying you want a divorce before you leave. Let me tell you why you don't do that. If you tell them you want a divorce before you leave, the war is on.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are not protected. You are going to, the assets are going to be moved away, so you can't have access to them.
I'll take you off the authorized accounts.
There's all sorts of things that can happen. So the best thing for you to do first is take that 12 critical steps to take before you leave. Okay, I think we've talked about that before. Then you want to be prepared to leave, and then leave. You don't need to tell him or her you're leaving.
Or you want a divorce.
Yeah,
have them served. It depends on if you're leaving or if you want them to leave. But either way, sitting down and saying, hey, I don't think our marriage is working. I'm miserable. You're miserable. I want a divorce.
The smear campaign will start. It just gets really, really nasty.
Even if you think they hate you, which we all think our narcs hate us, they don't care if it's not their eye. If they haven't discarded you and just thrown you out like a piece of trash, you try to leave them when they're not ready to let you go. It is war on. I mean, it is war on. And that's the reason getting your ducks in a row before they find out is the best way to go, because at least you have a chance to think clearly, plan, find an attorney, give the attorney the information. We will give you a pre-divorce workbook, free workbook. Just DM us, we'll send it to you. What to think about, what to write down, what to plan, what to give your lawyer. It will save you money, because it will take, oh my God, what do I got to do? What do I got to think about? What do I got to plan? It will tell you what to do. It's step-by-step workbook on what to fill out. Rebecca Zung actually created this workbook. If you haven't known about her, she's like the narc slayer attorney of America, but we refer people back and forth, and so we do have her free workbook, and we will send it to you. But preparing yourself lets you do things without the overwhelming aspect that comes with you trying to talk things through with them. It's not going to work. It won't. Believe me, it won't happen. It won't work. They will all of a sudden, they could feign that they're hurt. They could say, I can't believe you want this. Can we go to therapy? Can we just think this through? They're biding their time. You've already given them your playbook. Now they're biding their time on how to counterattack you and what to do in the meantime. And they will hide assets. They will take you off of authorized user accounts. They will remove you from things. And all of a sudden you're at the gas pump and your card doesn't work anymore and you have $3 in your account. Oh God, I've had this happen to clients. I just cry with them because they just, they thought they were being, decent by telling them, by saying, look, let's just, we've been married a long time. We've got a lot of money. Let's just split things. Let's just go, you're miserable. I'm miserable. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, narcs don't think that way.
No, they don't think that way. They think you don't deserve anything. And even if you work, even if you've made money and you put it, or you've raised the children, you've raised them single-handedly, you've homeschooled them, whatever, they don't think that matters. They don't think any contribution you've put into the marriage matters. It's not as good as theirs. It's not enough. And so they deserve more, or you don't deserve anything, or it's your fault that you're getting a divorce now. It's awful. The gaslighting's awful.
Now, Penny just said, anyone that can make an appointment with Melissa, do it. She is fantastic. I want to just reiterate that on June 15th, thank you so much, Penny.
We love
Penny's life, literally, when we first met her, she was a shell of who she is now. I hope you don't mind me saying that, Penny, but she was in a horrible, horrible place. And she is doing amazing now, just amazing. We're so grateful for that, and it's through the coaching with Melissa. So if you need to set up a call with her, please do so before June 15th. The prices will have to increase then, just because of the amount of time that goes into these calls and the research and all those other things. But please set it up. As many calls as you want to before June 15th. You can schedule them in the future, but before June 15th, please do. That'll be at the rate they are now, and then we're having that increase on June 15th. So just wanted to let all of you know. So let's go back to Jack and talk about.
Okay, hold on, Jack. Valiant and Narchammer, just book an appointment with either me or John, and we'll both be on it. So
okay,
yeah. Okay, Jack. Let's talk to Jack. What's going on with Jack?
Jack wants to know about trauma bonding.
Okay.
And what is it? How does it work? And then how does he prepare for it? I hope he's still on. That was a while ago. Jack, if you would just text me real quick if you're
still.
Yes,
I hope you're still on, Jack, because trauma bonding is very, very dangerous. It's very toxic. It's very manipulating, and it's being in a relationship with a very toxic and manipulating person for a long period of time, where your brain is actually in this cycle of abuse. It's what we call unveiling the cycle of abuse. John and I did videos on it, where the first phase is the idealization phase, which is where you fell in love with them, that everything about them you thought was just awesome. And then once that phase started wearing off, then the devaluation phase started, where they started cutting you down, kind of, chopping your confidence down little by little, where you really started questioning, what did I do wrong? What's going on? You're self-blaming things because they're making you think it's your fault. And then it goes into the discard, where they literally just discard you, whether they say, I don't want to be with you anymore and throw you out of the house, or when they discard you, they have nothing to do with you. You literally are a piece of furniture in the house. They treat you so terribly that you're basically, you feel like you're nothing. That whole cycle repeats itself over and over and over again the entire time you're in that relationship with this person. And your brain remembers that good time. It remembers what made you happy about this person. It remembers the love, the happiness, the love bombing, the fake person that you actually met. So when you get to a point where you are you can't take it anymore, you are literally crawling for the door, get me out of here, please. And they think they're gonna lose you or lose what you have that they want, they will throw out a spark of kindness. And what does your brain do? Your brain immediately grabs onto that feeling that you had when you thought things were real. So your brain produces dopamine, and your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain only knows, wow, okay, that feels good. I need more of that. I'm going to try harder. I'm going to do better. And so your brain starts tricking you into believing you can actually save that feeling, save that relationship, the goodness in that relationship, which is all fake. The minute you grab onto it, your guard comes down again, and then all of a sudden, devaluation started, discard. It is the most vicious cycle that keeps over and over and over, round and round. It's like a hamster in a wheel. And this is called neuro-linguistic reprogramming. It's how to retrain your brain so it can get off that hamster wheel, and you can start making a path to real happiness, real feelings, real comfort and peace and joy. It happens little by little, but if you don't get your brain off that cycle, your brain doesn't know anything else but that cycle. That's the reason when we see things on the TV about kidnapped victims that have been with their abusers for 18 years, and people are like, well, why didn't they leave? They should have had a chance to leave. Their brain doesn't know to leave. Their brain knows nothing else but what their abuser has trapped them in, that cycle. And things, might not be that extreme, but it's the same cycle. It really is the same cycle of abuse that your brain goes through, and unless you stop it and create an exit strategy for your brain, and it's step by step, it's guided step by step actions that we go through in my coaching calls with my clients who are in this trauma bonded relationship, because it takes a while to break that down. It's difficult, but if you follow the steps, if you have an accountability partner and you want it, you know something's wrong, you're not happy, you want to get out. It's just a matter of following the actionable steps, the daily steps, and your brain will stop that hamster wheel, and it will produce a path off of it, so your brain can start thinking for itself, making its own happiness, and you're not going to be tricked into thinking that is the only thing that's going to make you happy, is the little crumb that they give us. And that's what's so sad. And the reason John and I are such advocates on blocking abusers once you leave is because your brain's not strong enough to fight that off. It's not strong enough to fight off love bombing or hoovering when it's trying to heal and it's trying to find its own path to happiness. When you don't block them, there's a crack in your armor, so they can get through. Even if it's a slither, they can literally get through. And the minute they get through and they start saying things that you've wanted to hear, saying things that you wanted them to do, they're all lies, complete lies. Your brain doesn't know that. Your brain doesn't know they're lies. Your brain is going to immediately go to, okay, this feels good. This feels good. I need more of this. It doesn't know how to say, that is nasty for me. That's a bad habit. That's a drug I don't need to be taking anymore, unless you start exercises to retrain it. So I know that was a long-winded scenario, but trauma bonding is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. It's very manipulating. People stay in trauma bonded relationship for years and years and years because their brain doesn't know how to get out of it. So there you go.
I don't think Jack was here for that.
Well,
but
anyone else going through trauma
so
bond?
many people. In fact, Kate is here, and she's dealing with her mom is dealing with trauma bonding right now, and she said, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly." And so she's DMing us.
Yes, because I have the signs of trauma bonding and ways to combat it, especially if somebody doesn't want to get into intensive steps. If maybe she's still unsure or knows that something's wrong, maybe this is a first step. You could actually give it to her and let her read it. Maybe the two of you together, and then you guys can
have a call with Melissa and go from there. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, if you haven't liked this live yet, please do. I see so many hearts going up, but if you haven't liked it yet, we would just hit us with some likes. We would love that. We're trying to obviously spread the word as much as we can. Next Wednesday night, we'll be back on Instagram. We go back and forth between TikTok and Instagram. Oh, look at all the hearts. I love it. Thank you so much, guys. And Kate just said, thank you. We'll be looking forward to your DM. She'll be DMing us tomorrow. And so we'll get that document to you. It's Kate. So she'll be,
good.
Yeah, so she'll be DMing us. So we'll make sure we get that document to you. And join our Facebook group. If you haven't yet, please join our private Facebook group. Just follow the link in our bio and to our link tree. It has all our resources there, but it'll say join private Facebook group. You can't join it unless you follow the link. If you go to Facebook, you'll never find it because it's anonymous. That's what we love about that. No one can find it. Abusers, whoever can't find you there, and you can get some good help there from people that have been through it and can really help you through that. So make sure you do that. Also, before we end tonight, I just want to say one more time, those our calls are increasing on June 15th. So if you need to schedule a call with myself or Melissa, please do so before the 15th so that you can book at the lower price and book as many as you want.
Hey, Todd, I get you, man. I mean, seriously. And believe me, there are so many talented therapists and counselors out there, and they've worked hard for their degrees and whatnot. I just found that if they haven't gone through it, the person that does go through it seems crazy to them. And it's really sad because I know I went with my crazy narc to a counselor that didn't understand about narcissism, and he was so calm with his lies. I mean, he was, I was ready to leave, and then he said he wanted to go to counseling, and I went, and it was like the lies were just so overwhelming that I got so defensive about the lies. I looked kind of crazy. I looked like I was the one unstable, and then he just fed into it, like, see, told you, and it's very, very upsetting. So that's why John and I are so passionate about it, because we get it, we understand what the outside thinks about our partners. That mask that they put on when they go outside, everyone loves them, everyone thinks they're awesome, you're so lucky, wow, that's such I can't believe, really, they seem so nice. And then you're sitting there going, are you kidding me? They're like, Mr. Hyde behind closed doors. So that whole dynamic of people not getting or believing that you are going through what you're going through because the person seems normal. Because think about it, if they showed their true colors when we met them, would we have gone on the second date? No, nobody would. That mask, that perfect mask that they put on, they're like a chameleon. They become the perfect person for whoever their supply is at the time. And if they were this mean, horrible, nasty, violent, abusive person right from the get-go, we would have run. We would have been like, holy mackerel, get away from me, you crazy person. They're not that way. And it's sad because they're the only person that is that delusional, that they spend so much time trying to convince you of their lies so they can get whatever they want from you. They're like vampires. They will suck the life out of you. No other person that I know of is that evil. Obviously there's psychos and there's killers and but they're probably all narcissists and sociopaths anyway because they have no feelings. But they will go to great lengths to trick you and to make you believe the future faking, and that they're the person for you, and that you're going to have a life together and everything's going to be just awesome and fabulous, and we buy into it. Because why wouldn't we believe them? Who thinks someone is going to sit there and lie to your face and act like they're somebody that they're not? I mean, the extent mine went to get me to go on the first date was unbelievable. I just can't imagine putting that much effort in doing something so evil. My judge actually said that to him. He said, "You are not the worst person I've ever seen come through this courthouse in 25 years. You're the second worst. And if you would have spent as much time doing something good as you did doing something evil and conning and all of these schemes that you were pulling off, you could probably be the president of the United States." So it's very, very, it's unbelievable to most people that an individual will spend that much time and effort to trick someone into getting something from them. Most people don't do that. Most normal people don't do that. So I get it. I understand exactly what you're talking about. But going to therapy or counseling with a narcissist is probably the biggest waste of time that you could ever spend, because they will never be truthful. They will never reveal who they are.
And they won't change.
They won't, and they'll never change. They can't. They cannot change. If they are a narcissist, they cannot change.
Hey, I want to mention one more thing. A lot of people here have been in relationships for a long time, and they've recently left, and they're really, really struggling. I love helping with recovery. It's just like any other trauma or abuse that you suffer, any type of thing that you've gone through. It takes time to recover. You're gonna recover eventually. Why not shorten that period? And we would love to help you with recovery. I would love to help you with recovery. We have an amazing 10-step recovery process that is phenomenal. It just helps you every single day, mentally, physically, financially, all of those things to recover from the abuse. So please DM us if you need help with recovery. I would love to help coach you through that. Melissa and I both have gone through it, and we recovered, and we've met each other, and now we're trying to help others. And so I would really love to share what we went through and how we were able to recover with you. So please let us know if we can help you with that. We're right at the end of our hour, guys. I can't believe it goes by so fast.
It did. It flew by.
We'll be, like I said, next Wednesday night at 7:30, we'll be over on our Instagram channel. If you're not following us on TikTok yet, please do. Please hit follow us, join our private Facebook group, and then head on over to Instagram, and same handle, Victim to Warrior. You can find us there and follow us there so that you're notified next Wednesday night when we go live. So we can, if we didn't get your question, I hope we can.
And just DM us if we did.
If we didn't.
We have somebody checking our DMs every day, and they will get back to us and let us know what your scenario is and how we can help you. Because like John said, there are 2 million people a month that search narcissism. Is that sad? That's sad. 2 million people a month are searching for answers on narcissism. And it's a very, very scary situation to find yourself in, especially because, as we all know, it was too late once we found out. Once we realized, we didn't even know what we were dealing with. Once we realized something really, really bad was happening and something had really gone wrong. Oh, hang on, guys. I gotta do this little thing here. There we go. Sorry, it makes us like do these crazy things when it's the end of our hour. But anyway, so we are gonna probably sign off now, but we love all of you. Thank you so much.
Todd just said we're saints, so thanks, Todd. So glad you're here.
Yes.
Todd, if there's anything we can do to help you, just DM us and let us know.
Yes, because we totally get it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I totally get it, Todd.
He gets
Believe
it,
me,
Todd.
I totally get it.
You can schedule something with John because he absolutely gets it.
Let me know if I can help you in any way, Todd.
Yeah.
Any other men out there that are struggling with female narcissists or recovering after a female narcissist, I was there. I know, and so I would love to help you through this.
Yeah, and John, our personal support has me and John on it. So definitely take advantage of that. But we'd love to help you through that, Todd. Definitely. So we love you guys, love our followers. And we will be back next Wednesday on Instagram. And if you need us in the meantime, you know how to reach us. Just DM us, and we will.
We just got one last question. I don't even know what your name is because she's been here the whole night. It is LSF 12274. So she said, can you start recovery if you just filed? Absolutely.
Yes.
The sooner you start recovering, the better.
And you'll be stronger through it because they will definitely try to knock
they're
going to
try to,
starting recovery, absolutely. Why delay it? I mean, we have clients that have been struggling for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. When you can do it in a short amount of time, it's just knowing what to do. It's knowing the steps to take to retrain your brain, because that's what it is. Your brain controls everything. It can control you if you let it. And most of us in a trauma bonded or abusive situation, our brains only know fight or flight. That's all it knows.
Her name is Pam. She's been with you before.
Pam Beck. I love her.
She's a great help. So
she's in our group.
Yeah, Pam, please let us know.
Pam.
I would love to help anyone that's struggling with recovery and is just stuck and can't move forward with their lives. Every day that goes by that you're stuck is a wasted day.
Yeah.
So you have to start
working. And it
working.
chips away at your confidence, your self-esteem, and your ability to think on your feet, and we want to get you from where you are now to where you want to go in the least amount of time, because you deserve happiness. You deserve to enjoy your life, and you deserve to be able to think about, you know what, maybe it might take me however long to reach somebody else, another partner, but by getting yourself healed and getting yourself in the right place, you'll make a good partner for somebody, and you want that partner to be whole for you as well. So, but anyway, all right, well, we're gonna head out, guys. So thank you for joining us, and
please hit that like before you sign off, please, and head on over to our TikTok page and follow us if you're not.
Yes.
We're really so glad you were here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you real soon.
All right, see you guys.
Bye, have a good night.
Bye.
Stay safe, most importantly.
Yes, love you guys. Bye.